The state Supreme Court race, of course, is supposed to be nonpartisan, but Wisconsin's Republican and Democratic parties have been receiving millions of dollars in support of their candidates. The parties and the candidates have broken the record now for the most expensive judicial race in the country. Ahead of Election Day tomorrow, we sat down with both state party leaders for whether they think this is how elections should be run in our state. And here is my one-on-one interview with Wisconsin Democratic Party Chairman Ben Wickler. Ben, thank you for joining us today.
It's great to be with you.
Well, this race is supposed to be officially nonpartisan, but both the state GOP and the Democratic parties have endorsed a candidate in this Supreme Court race. Why did Wisconsin Democrats endorse Susan Crawford?
As Democrats, it's core to our value system that everyone should receive equal justice under the law, whether you're the president or private citizen. We don't think that the MAGA politicians should be taking over the court system and banning abortion and giving Donald Trump and Elon Musk a pass no matter what laws they break. We think that that everyone should have their day in court. Now, Susan Crawford has been a public servant for her whole life. She's been a prosecutor ensuring public safety. She's led environmental enforcement. She defended voting rights and workers' rights and reproductive freedom when she was a lawyer. And she's the kind of person who makes a great Supreme Court justice. And that's very different from what we see with Brad Schimmel, who's really running as a MAGA politician, saying he'll be Trump's support network. And that's a choice that for the Democratic Party means that it's time for everyone to roll up their sleeves and try to elect Susan Crawford to the court.
This race has shattered spending records. It is now the most expensive judicial race ever. And the candidates on both sides have received millions of dollars in funding, notably from billionaires like Elon Musk, George Soros, and the like. Is this the way you think these races should be run?
Absolutely not. It is core to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin's platform, to the beliefs of most Wisconsinites, regardless of party, that we should have campaign finance reform. We should try to get big money out of politics. But until Republicans agree to try to change these laws, or Democrats win office and are able to change them on our own, we're going to have to try to fight in these elections for the principles of equal justice under the law, of freedom over our own bodies that we know are at stake in these races. Elon Musk has spent more than 10 times as much, as far as we can track, than any other donor on either side of this election, including the huge Stop the Steal MAGA donors, Dick and Liz Uline on the Republican side, who've given more than any Democratic donor in this race. Elon Musk, at the same time as he's pouring in tens of millions of dollars, is trying to dismantle Social Security, the university system in this country, the Veterans Administration, and he has his own case before the Wisconsin court system. That's something we've never seen before. And this kind of paints the picture for why it's so critical to overturn Citizens United, to end the system of big money in politics. And the only way to do that, unfortunately, at this moment, is for Democrats to fight with everything they've got to ensure that people who believe in people power instead of the power of money can win elective office.
You were the chairman of the Democratic Party when now Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasewicz won 2 years ago. What is similar about this race, in your opinion, and what's different this time around?
What's similar between now and 2023 is that Wisconsin has an 1849 abortion ban that's on the books that is currently not in effect. But what we don't know is if Brad Schimmel comes back in, we could be at risk of it snapping back into place to make abortion a felony punishable by 6 years in prison. That is something very similar, and that is probably the biggest issue in this race for many people. Something very different from 2023 is the role of Elon Musk and the wholesale assault on the kind of American system of government. Trump and Musk are ignoring courts and they're ignoring Congress. They're dismantling programs that people desperately rely on, like Social Security, going after healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare, the Postal Service, so much else. And that is really outside the Constitution. And they're trying to impeach federal justices that get in their way. Now they're reaching down to try to buy state Supreme Court justices like Brad Schimmel, who has campaigned openly as wanting to be Trump's support network in the courts. That is very different from 2023, and that creates a level of significance for this race that will ricochet across the country. Because if judges, if politicians all think that Elon Musk can come in and guarantee their victory through his giant fortune, then it distorts the fundamental idea of a of any shred of democracy in the United States of America. I think the whole country is watching right now to see whether the public can fight back against this kind of influence.
We greatly appreciate your time. Best of luck on Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.